these other links will be using by submitting what you have worked on, because you have already pushed some project.
You are cutting off. Can you come back? You were cutting off.
Now, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, simply, I was just want to ask, will be given the will be given two links to submit what you have. What you have covered already in last 4 weeks. As you know, we have given like two. Sorry for interrupting.
Okay. So
I just want to I just want to ask if is there any form to submit what you have pushed in our GitHub. We have given only two links to submit what you have worked on. Now we are still remaining 2 links to submit what you have already worked on. That was my question. I don't know if it is really understandable as well.
So sorry for a moment. Okay, so that's I can say that's a simple question, because if you have already worked on the assignment that you have been given, so the time is yet to be asked for the link, right? For the exact link of where you have pushed.
Thank you. So thank you very much. That was my suggestion. Thank you.
Yeah. So make sure that you have completed the assignment at the time that you have been asked to do so, right? So make sure that you remember the instructor who were working on you, who were working on that topic as well. But we are following up with your assignments. Don't worry. Okay. So okay. So okay. I hope that nobody else has any problem, right? Is there anyone who want to ask? Okay, nobody. So, in the last weeks, we have been learning many things about Django, and I hope that everyone here is really familiar with what Django means, what REST API means in Django, and also can work with a simple authentication system within a Django. Like you can serialize and serialize what? Can't you hear me? I'm sure you can.
Yes, we can. I was just putting my pants down because I didn't actually understand or do the authentication part of Django REST Framework.
Okay.
But anyways, let's continue.
Yeah, I love that. I love that because you are really active. So, and that's what I wanted to hear from you guys. If you agree that you are familiar with the REST API, with the authentication, that will be a great problem, because I know who doesn't know about it, and it's the thing that we are going to be looking at. So, but what I expect from you guys is that you are familiar with you're familiar with almost everything about Django, because now we have moved on with some kind of intermediate concept. So today we're gonna be looking at authentication and security within the Django system. So within a Django project, right? And I hope that everyone here really understand the previous, right? I hope that everyone here understand the previous concept that has been delivered to you guys, because those concepts are the driving force of what we are going to be looking at today. So allow me to share my screen so that you can get started with that day's studies. So, I hope you can see my screen.
No, we are not seeing your screen.
Not yet. Not yet.
Oh, so how about now? Can't you still see my screen?
It's appearing. It's appearing.
Now we
It's
can.
not really clear right now. Okay, that's good. We have it now. I have it on my side though.
Okay. Sure. So, can you see my screen? Because I can't see. Okay. Let me just minimize this. Okay, now I can. Yeah. So I wanted to see this mobile pop up. Okay. So today we are going to be taking a look at the what we call authentication system and the security within within Django project. So I hope everyone have been following up around the studies. So when we say about security and authentication, what do you hear, guys? So what do you hear when we say about authentication? Just of the time we say auth and security. Yes, Jan.
When we say that a user is authenticated into a system, it means that the user's identity is uh, defined, and let's say the user is identified within the system for authentication, and the authorization part of it is making sure that the user has the required permission to do whatever he or she wants to do in the system.
Okay, that's cool, but okay, DMS.
Okay, thank you very much. I just want to confirm what he said. Authentication, as my own understanding, authentication is to be authorized to do something on something. I don't know if I can make it understandable, but I understand.
Is it to be authorized to do something? So
Yes.
you are confusing me, guys. So how one is authorized to do something, or how is what Tijan said? Who is rising? Yes,
Yeah.
no, Robert.
So I think authentication means, so if you have a system, it means letting the user own their own data so that other people cannot access that user's data. Maybe that's maybe the definition.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So, um, the reason why that I'm saying that you are confusing me, I'm considering myself as non-technical user. You have to consider that. So what you are saying, you guys, that's true. Most everything we're saying is true, but as a non-technical user, I can be confused. So to simplify them is that, so when we say about authentication, authorization, and security, we are saying that the system can recognize a user through different mechanisms or processes, and also make sure that the different part of the system, as well as the data that has been stored by the system or controlled by the system, are secured from unauthorized use anything else, right? So I hope that even non-technical user or non-technical user can understand that. So when we come to the part of technicality, we say authentication. That's where we identify, we use three pillars, right? The first pillar is who is this? The second, what can you access, or what are you permitted to do within the system, right? So the third is the third will be like so I can see that this can be accessed by this one, and also that one can be accessed by that one, and this user entered the system isn't permitted or isn't allowed to do anything at all, right? So that is where we see most of the things that you are talking about, like authorization, authentication. Okay, by the way, do you understand the difference between authentication and authorization? Do you understand the difference?
Yes, we do. We do.
Okay, cool. So, we said, or we have seen about the what we call normally the authentication and the security, right? I hope you say that you understand deeply, and I hope that you do. So let us see or go deeper on how does each one implemented. We said about authentication, oath, right? Authentication. How do we make sure that a user is authenticated? How do we authenticate a user within the system? I don't want the code, right? I like to go with the logical understanding and familiarizing with the concept in the normal life, or just real world example. Then we move on to the what we call implementation or just execution. So what do we call authentication? When do we say that the user is authenticated? Yes, I said that it is at the time that the system recognizes the user by using identification or whatever things that we want to be using. But should we take in order to make sure that the user is authenticated? Yeah. Is there anybody? Right. Yes, Jean.
Yeah, to authenticate the user within the system has to provide something that is called an account. That is, each user has to create an account within the system, and to access certain resources within the system where security is critical, the user has to open his or her account before getting access to the data that he requests.
Okay, that's true. So he mean that we begin with the user requesting something from within our system, right? Am I right? So, okay. After beginning with the user requesting to access some kind of data within our system, we proceed with some kind of checking, right? Okay. So,
Exactly.
okay, so, but can you be clear where do those kind of validation checking?
Sorry, I didn't get the start of the question.
Okay, where does the user initiate the requests to the server? Is it the server? Sorry, yeah. I mentioned.
Yeah. I mean, it's from a client. It's from a client. It might be a web client or a mobile application
Okay,
where
so
the user requests to access some resource.
okay, we are
And
almost exactly that's right. So we are almost 30 minutes ahead. So we are going to be quicker somehow. So I want everybody to be attentive. We are going to try to be quicker because this is a very huge concept. So the first thing, like Jean said, we begin with a client, right? So we begin with the client. After the client, so here the client we are talking about, this is like it might be a web server, right, or mobile, right? It might be a web server or mobile. So this is a user, the user of this web client or to check on his personal information or profile information. So the user come on the web or mobile as the thing that we are calling the client. So this client send the request to the server, right? Send the request to the server saying this user called like this thing is requesting this kind of data, right? Is requesting this kind of data. So what the server automatically say, okay, yeah, I can see that this user is requesting or the client is requesting the information for this user. The client send the request on behalf of this user. But what the server asks itself at the first time is that, is this user authentication or is this client which is sending the request on behalf of this user authenticated or given the permission to gain the access to this information on behalf of this user? So that's where we do the first initial check called if the authenticated, right? If the user is authenticated according to different mechanism that we have put in place. So after we see that the user is authenticated, then we give the user access to what? We give access to what? We give access to access our APIs. Our APIs which house the data, right? So the APIs do different operations, different checkup, like querying different information for the user profile information and many more, right? From the database. Then I retrieve them to the client so that this user here can see the information that he has requested for. But what if a user is not authenticated? If a user is not authenticated, we have to authenticate him or her automatically. So the first thing we do is that in the client, we have said that the client is sending a request on behalf of this user. The first thing we check is that is this user normally has any sign of the within our system. Do we know this user? Is it the first time that is visiting or is requesting the something from within our system? If it is the first time, we ask the user automatically to get authenticated, to register within our system, right? We ask the user to register within our system so that we can recognize the user. So, but if a user is not the first time is visiting the system or working with the system, but the claim or the identifications or different keys that we have given to user has been for example, compromised or expired, we request the user to log in again, right? We request the user to log in again. So for logging again, what we do here, and it is the same as what we do after user get registered within the system. User get registered, then we say, yeah, we know you now. Then we want to make sure that it is you who registered right now, right? We know that you have registered, but do you really recognize what you did? Have you did it on a visual? Yeah. So here, what we do here before I say what we do in here, authenticating the user after log in. So here what we do when we say we are talking the authentication, we are checking for the authentication. Normally we are verifying I said earlier that we are verifying the different claims or different keys that you have assigned to the user. We have given the user so that can use them at the time that you want to enter back within the system. But here we can do many things for the verification. But the common way of authenticating a user for the starter is token. Just verify. Is verifying the what we call token claims. We verify token claims. So we verify token claims. When you say token claims, we can say that different keys or different personal identity encrypted and given it a variable name, right? Are you understanding this? Are you understanding this? Okay, so we are saying
Please
that.
come again. I didn't get you there.
Okay, here, when you are saying that we are verifying the token claims that have been assigned to the user who is authenticating, who is requesting different information, we are saying that we are checking for the different keys or personal identifiable information within our system. We have chosen to be the entering key for the user within our system. So what we do in order to turn them into the authenticating claims, we take a different keys or information. What I'm referring to keys are just those information that we have selected to be the to allow the user to enter within our system, right? At the time that he is trying to requesting different information. So let us say example that we have chosen to go with the ID username. So this is for the for the registered user, right? So just for the registered user. So for the registered user, we took ID and username. After taking username, we encrypt. Okay. Oh, even my electricity is draining too fast. So I just have to change the. Yeah, I'm changing the location, so my battery is draining too fast. Okay, so here we go. So you were asking you. Okay, I hope we are together. Is anyone asking a question? Any question? Okay, sorry for the internet. You can try locating. So here, what we do what we called, we encrypted this key, this information that we want to be using as keys for the user that to be authorized to access the system. This is for just accessing the system, right? Entering in the system. Is like the gate key, right? So the gate key. And you know, if you enter within a house, it doesn't grant you to access every single room within a house, right? You have entered within a house, but you can't access every single room within a house without having a key or permission to enter. So here we are going to encrypt. We are going to encrypt these claims, these keys. So there is a bunch of different cryptographic algorithms and packages that are out there that are being used to do this. So now we have encrypted the claims and stored them in what the variable we call the token. So here also, to authenticate user have registered, and here is what we have been checking. So we check this if it is expired, if they are expired or not expired. Let me just, oh, doesn't move. So this I was over explaining, but here, this we did here, it is because you wasn't understanding. There should be here. This is where we do it, right? Here we verify these claims, but here is where we do what we and also is where we encrypt them. So we add a different mechanism that will help us to avoid any intrusion, like by identifying the time that that token will be expired at. Also, we provide different keys or claims as we want, many things. So here the first thing we check is the expiration. Is the token expired or not? And then we move on to the decrypting. Here we do decryption. Here we do encryption, right? So I hope it's clear here. Are you getting this? I said encryption is done here, and decryption is done here at the verification side, right? Okay. Now, so we have seen how the said about the authentication, but how about the authorization? Same, but what change is the purpose? What is changed here? What change is the purpose? So the authorization at the different hand. When we say authorization, we are talking about the permission, right? You have entered within the room. No, within a house. But what room can you and can't you access or enter? So that's what we are talking about. We have entered within a house. This is our house. This is our house. This is our house, right? So, and we are going to check what we can't and can access. So database city here. So we are going to check what we can access and what we can't access. So here what we are referring to as API errors coding. We refer this to view, but we in a different implementation. In a different technologies like Java, like Node.js, you call this like route. You refer to this route. So, for simplicity, for the Node.js user, you can call this as allowed. So here, in order to implement the authorization, now we are on to implement the authorization. We need different mechanisms of checking the permission for the user who is trying to access or do any operation within our system. So for the authorization, that's where we look at something that called role. I hope everyone here is familiar with role. Role, and is here we take a look on what we call permissions. Now, this is two things that we look at when it comes to authorization. The first thing is the role. Here on the role, we check, is this the main prayer? Or main prayer? What we call technically super user or admin or something like that, or just user according to the role assignment within a system. So some system might use admin, super user, might even use like something like vendor. It depends on the nature of the system. Also here, what we check is, I can see, or the system knows that, yes, you are the main or you are admin, but what are you allowed to perform within a system? This is we say like, let us say like just allowance, operation allowance, ops allowance. So coming back to the example you have been using, where we said you might be allowed to enter within a house, but not being allowed to enter within a specific rooms. So that the room that you can enter, like for example, the main room within a house might be entered by the father and mother, right? When you are admin, those are super admin. But when you are admin as a child of the family, you might be enter within the main room at some time or at some point, right? So also, when you are like, housemaid also, at some point you can enter within this house. That's the law that determines the permission, this what we are calling the permission that you might be assigned to. What you can do according to the law you have and what you can't. So like here, you can say like housemaid can do the cleanings within a main house, but can't replace or displace anything from within the room. Sorry, it's not main house, but main room. So come back to the system, like super admin can delete admin, but admin cannot delete super admin when being technical. I hope you can get it. Can you understand? Oh, so you were gone. Okay. So I was can delete admin cannot delete super admin. That's role and that's permission. So okay, so now we understand the authentication and authorization. So we said another thing that called, what is it? Is protection. What do we protect and who do we protect it from? So we protect the system from any unauthorized user or anything which try to access the protected part of the system, right? Which try to access any protected part of the system, even you might say like different. You might say like my system is, all of my system can be accessed publicly for anyone else who is authenticated can access my system, right? But the person who is not authenticated or who is not recognized by the system cannot access the system. With it. So we are now going to check the difference between, we have seen and understood the authentication and authorization, and within the mechanism of implementing this are many. Like you might use session or decide to go with JWT, JSON Web Token. JSON, you might go with the session or go with JSON Web Token. So when we say about session, when you say about session within a Django, we are saying that every time a user signed in, user will have to request authentication and be authenticated, and then access the system. And access the system. So here, the authentication managed by Django. Django will manage almost everything for you for the session. So, which means every time user signed in has to provide with credential in order to access the system. But for JWT, this is stand for JSON Web Token. What you do here, you provide what we called above, the color part is hiding. Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. I'm moving down to the next. That's why it might be seeing it hiding. So I'm moving on to JWT. So JWT. So but when it comes to JWT, it does different. So it allows you to define a different, two different experience, right? It allows you to make different approach that improve the user experience within your system in terms of authentication and authorization as the same as protection. So here, the way it does it is it allows you to define your token, the token with different custom custom claims, right? Different custom claims. Plus that you define, you define also. We call it the lifetime of the token. Lifetime. How long does this token last? Lifetime. It's called a TTA. So yeah, you might choose to make it long for around a week, for 1 day, for hours, for minutes, for different time span. And also it increased the protection for being custom oriented, and also how it is built. It improves what we call the security. It improves the security. So because you can use different, let me use this. Because you can use different algorithms to algorithms. You can use different algorithms, and also you can even use different, like you can offer a different tokens at the same time. Like user is a part of is a user or his or herself is a user for the system, but also is a part of the organization within a system, right? So it allows you to authenticate a user at different on the system requirement. So you can authenticate user personally, simply, or you can authenticate user also on the organization level without doing many things. So, and also another thing is, what else? Those are the important things. So I will share with you the notes so that you can go deeper with them. So now we have seen the different approach of implementing the authentication and authorization within the system. So, how can we implement what we said? How can we implement what we said? Is any problem or the thing that you need a clarification before we move on? Okay, nothing. So now you have seen and understood what we call authentication and authorization mentally. This, you can refer to this as a mental model. So now, like we said, as you have seen, this might be a very long Django does magic, and you don't implement anything from scratch. When we think like we have to implement anything from scratch, Django is not for you. Django is for the users who want to use its capability in order to make the development faster as possible. Django did almost everything for us. And here is what we are. So here is what we. Here is. here is what we have already been talking about. So last time we had this project. Let me use this thing. Last time we had this project. I hope that you remember. The project. Where am I? Okay. So we had we have been working on the bookstore. I hope you remember. At the time that we have been working on class-based view. You remember that, right? Where we implemented the booking management system. Do you remember that, guys? Okay, so but we did it casually. Our intention was just for taking a look on how we can implement the class-based view. Nothing more than that, and we did it very well. We have been able to access and do everything from scratch. So this is that project that we worked on. This is the app or feature, and this is where our main settings are managed, and this is our main entry for the system. So what we are going to do, we have to secure this system by doing what we said we have to do. What? Django does almost everything for us. We don't have to implement those algorithms I said from scratch. We already have Django for us. It did almost every single implementation we might have. So let us go like we have a boilerplate and we have to take a use of it. So here, what it means is that we have to import different libraries that Django provide for us. The first thing that we have to do, who is familiar with the Django authentication and authorization here? Do you know the packages that we have to implement? To have, so that we can be able to work with this functionality for Django. Do you? Okay. No, none. So here is that like I said, Django did almost everything for us. The thing that we only have to do is to build on top of it. When I say on top of it, is to take a use of those different implementation or what we call it, dependencies or libraries, and sit on top of them or take a use of them. So the first thing we have to do in order to configure the authentication is Django REST Framework. I hope everyone here is aware of this. That's why I have started asking you guys, are you familiar with Django REST Framework? So if you are familiar with Django REST Framework, now I'm going to introduce you to Django REST Framework Simple JWT. I refer to it as Jawat. I really love that's why JWT. We have seen Django REST Framework, and now we're about to take a look on Django REST Framework Simple JWT. So what you have to do as usual, you just have to install it, right? You just have to install it. So because here I don't have any of them. So I have to do what I have to install Django framework as well as Django REST framework slash simple JWT. Simple JWT. I have to install them so that I can be able to access them within the work. So here I can it is opening the okay. Is this yeah? This is it. Okay, this is the project that we used last time. Let's see if it is installing. So this is the. I hope you remember, and you have been able to interact with this. Have you who played with this project on the GitHub or tried to clone and play it with it around? Who tried? I didn't see you reporting any problem. Who tried to interact with the
I just felt it, but I couldn't play with it.
you focused it on the okay, that's okay. So you have been able to try it around. You haven't.
Not really. I the code and I tried to implement it on my own, but I've not gone quite far in it.
Okay. Okay. So okay. Yes. Okay. It's advisable to take your time, and play with the things around, because you can't understand anything if you didn't fuck up or if you didn't mistake. So in coding word, if you didn't get stuck, you will not be able to debug or understand things deeply. You have first of all to play with things, break things, get stuck, but avoid being stuck for too long. Try to seek for some kind of support, but if you don't play around, you won't get anything. So that's the password for development stuff. So here we have installed our main packages or dependencies that we were racking, which are the this Django framework and the Django framework, Django REST framework and Django and Django REST. We have to go within our. We have to go within our settings. I hope that you remember. We have to go within our settings here and do what? Update these settings to include those dependencies that we have imported. The first thing is we have to come here and do what? Add those new dependencies that we have added. They do have they are called apps because even if we use them as dependencies in Django, they are just implementation that they have provided for us, so they are supposed to be up. So here we include them. We start by the REST framework as usual, you know them, and then we also import the REST framework JWT, not of the WT. Okay, there are many, but I just chosen to go with this simple JWT for running purpose. But you have to go and check around. Let me minimize this so we can. Okay, it's okay. Even if the it's okay. Yeah, I just want to be saying we have to import them before we use them. Yeah, I have seen it. I hope you know how to use. You have to take a use of VS Code printing. Yes, you can ask.
Well, when you say you have to import them, do you mean that you have to add them in the installed applications, installed apps list?
Oh, so we have two things. The first, I did a mistake here. So the first thing here, when we say about
You have to put them into quotes, yes.
the installed apps, I was trying to do things a long way. Authentication. When we say about importing, we are just importing them from. We are trying to import them as dependencies or as a module. Yeah, as a module, right? We are trying to. I was trying to import them as a modules, and that was wrong. I just have to include them within installed apps, right? So the last thing to be added is now a REST framework. REST framework. REST framework simple. It's already there. For blacklisting the token, I need this app. Like I've said, Django does a bunch of things for us. Here we two Karuk main things, but we forgot at the time that user want to from the system. Here, we have to invalidate the token or the keys that have been assigned to this user, right? Invalidation. So for invalidation, user Django give us this app for blacklisting the token. It does this for us. That's why we include this app. So the next thing to do is to come down to the REST framework. Now we do have REST framework, and we have to add it by ourselves. So now we come and add our REST framework here within a setting framework, REST framework, and then REST framework. Within a REST framework, what we do, here, because we are using the system. So what we do here, first of all, we specify what is the default authentication apps or classes or system that you want to be using within this app system. When I say app, it might be conflicted with this. In this system, we know that the Django does many things for us, and we don't have to implement them from scratch. So you have to come here and specify the default authentication classes, right? Default authentication classes. So for the default authentication classes, we import or we specify what already provided by this simple framework Jawad, right? I hope you understand that. Are we together? So this is the are we together? I hope we are together. Can you hear me? Okay. So this is the for this simple JWT authentication. So the next thing we have to do, because we are about to implement both authentication and authorization. Then now we have to add the second default authorization class. So for the authorization, for the default authorization, where we don't normally say the authorization, we just use permission classes, right? We don't use authorization. Here we use it authentication, but here we use permission. But here in the permissions, this is where we will be able to check for different laws or other claims that we have planned to use for the permission granting and allowance for performing different operations within our system. So now the next thing we have to do what is to configure what simple JWT, right? If you can see here, simple JWT is not configured, right? So here what to do now is to configure our simple JWT setting, and we do it here. You know, there is no rules for arranging this stuff. I didn't meet with any. So now what we do here is we first of all we say we define what access token has to be last for, or how long, no, not what, how long will the token last, right? So what we do with access, we say access token lifetime. This like in 5 minutes. We just have to import this before we do anything. So how long this the token will last, right? So this from Spark to by say, if you are familiar with the implementation, authentication. The refresh token, we define the refresh token lifetime, and also let us say like one day, and 5 minutes is no, yeah. Let's say, yeah, you can put whatever time you wish, right? So here you add different settings as I wish. You might like, let me take almost this. So here is the important things that I want you guys to see, and this is the one, and this is the one. Algorithm and this, right? These two things. Are we together? Let me add this comment so that everyone can see. This one, yeah, these are the important things that I wanted. Are we together? Oh. Can you hear me, guys? Oh, good. So when have you started to lose the connection? To lose me? When? Were we together when I said that I wanted you guys to, this is the things that I wanted you guys to see? Have you?
Yeah, about
Okay, so these are the things that I wanted us guys to cover. The most important things that I wanted us to cover. So the first is algorithm. Like I said, you define the algorithm that you want to be using, right? You define it by yourself. You and also the JWT give you the capability or ability of even providing your unique secret to encrypt the token or in accordance with the algorithm that you want to use, right? By using the algorithm that you want to use. So this add a sophisticated layer of security. So another important thing is specifying the header type that you want to be using when authenticating a user. It is advisable to use BR than any other type of header. I didn't go much about the header, but we take a look at the header. Normally, the requests. Okay, let me show you a little bit about this, so we'll be clear. Earlier we said, or we took a look on client, right? Client sending a request to the server. So when clients send, when we say that when you say that a client is sending a request to the server on behalf of a user and the user is going to be you are saying for the server to know or to recognize that, to be able to know or to check if the client is authenticated or not authenticated, there is a way of communication between server and the client, and they communicate by using the header, the request, what we call request header. Request header. Inside the request header, they are different parts or information within the same header. The header will contain the algorithm information for the clients and information of most of main things, right? And within a header, that's where our authentication implementation or keys will be housed, like a token, right? Token which will be containing the algorithm we have used, and or the claims that you have mentioned. Also, the signature. What we call signature here is what we have referred here as a secret. This one, signing key, is a signature. I hope now we are together. So yeah, that's what the added security there for the JWT. So now what we are going to move on is now to secure what we said. Now we're about to secure. So what we are going to secure, we are done with the setting or configuring the JWT and authentication within our system. So we have to do another simple magic so that you can be able to do what to secure what we are securing this book. We are securing this implement. But how about instead of modifying URL endpoint? That's correct. Instead of modifying this implementation of DDR, come here and start another new or create another new app. What do we have to do? Who can tell me how are we going to secure? You're not seeing my EDE. Is there anybody who is not seeing my EDE as well? Okay. The problem is the internet, I think. So, okay. Let me close first of all this terminal. I don't think we need it. You said endpoint and URLs. Here we have one for managing books. So do we have to implement the those security measures within these URLs, or we have to do it outside somewhere? Huh? How do you think? Is there anybody who can try? Nobody. Outside. Okay, outside. So John said outside. Who else? Feel free, guys. It's okay. Let us share the ideas and move faster. How do you think you can do we can secure our version? I just want to hear you guys. It's okay, just whatever. Jean said we can do it outside. Do you agree with him? Okay, they agree with you. So I would like to ask Jean, why do you think that it is better to implement it outside of this book app we have?
I think it's better to implement it outside for not, for us not having to modify the code deeply. I mean, if we have to integrate security in the system, we have to make sure that the system itself is not modified deeply by the integration. But we just add more features outside of it.
That's okay, that's correct, but that's correct, but it might not be the main reason that we might implement it outside. So the first thing that we can consider when deciding to implement anything outside of the what we have is that yes, we already have this and we don't want errors or whatever, but we are considering that we might consider this as for like sometimes we can consider the anyone else who is not who you doesn't need to interfere with what you are going to implement with the security permission that security rules that you are going to put in place. That's where that's why even in Django you are allowed to implement more than one file of endpoints, right? So that you can do whatever you want. So the reason why we might create the off app is separation of concern, right? We are separating the public endpoints or URL from the authorized or authenticated URLs, so that when we want to do some kind of adjustment in the future time, it will not require much change or it requires to break some functionality of anything, right? If it is for authentication, we know where to do what, we have to look for what to change and what not change. So for that, let me check if you still remember how to start a new app. So we have to let us go off like no, I don't. Let us go like off what off. So no suggestion. Off what? Let us go like off simple name. Yeah, off app. Yeah, it's okay. No. Off endpoint. Off path. Yeah. Let's go to half path. So we have to implement this. We have to add this authentication app. Who I want to see if you remember how to create app out of the project. So guys, you are telling everyone how to do it, man. Okay, but it's okay. Okay. So now, because we have used pipe MB, we do just Python manage .py, then start. Yeah, sorry. Then start. Nope. Pipe MB. Okay, we have to. What I did. So I so now the app has been created. I hope everyone can see. So here together, so who can don't Hello, guys.
Hello.
So my internet was doing me ups and down. So sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay. So my internet was lost. So that's why I went off. So okay, this is gonna take us long for sure, and I think we have to make it faster. All right, we have to make it faster somehow. So what I'm going to do the crucial things here, then everything else will just be taking a look on it. So here we have defined or created a file called urls.py under the off app we have created, right? So what we have to do, we do have to do what? First of all, we have to do who? No, that can take us a long time. So I'm going to be implementing them as fast as I can so that it won't take us much time. The first thing to do is just to implement to import the dependencies, right? Because this is another app that we are going to. It seems like another new app that we are going to be adding to our main system, but normally this will be only working or it will be working as our authentication and authorization system. That's the responsibility that we are going to give it to. So now let us implement import the dependencies that you have installed for the security concern. So we are importing what? We are importing the token. Yeah, the token blacklist view and the token using the token refresh. We only need token refresh, yeah. So the token refresh. The next thing here, we have here the models. We have the models. We have already implemented the array, and we have their views, right? I hope you remember this. We have these views. So those views are the views that we are going to take a use of here. So now from the app called book view, we are going to import the view that we're gonna be implementing in the few time. The token view, we're gonna be implementing the token view here. This view is the view that we will use authenticating when authenticating authenticating those views that we will be protecting. So now here what we are going to do, it seems to be deprecating this one, but the reason why it is seemingly to be deprecating this one is that if you want to come back and check on this later, you can see the difference, nothing more than that. You can see the difference. So now here, this is the normal admin endpoint, but also for the book, you can see here, instead of defining new endpoints, I have already imported these endpoints, and here what I'm gonna do, I'm not going to say books, right? So if I do this, it can contradict, it can conflict with the main, not the main, but with these URLs that we already have. You remember that this we have new, but in the main URL where we are calling those URLs, we are using books, then other descendant sub endpoint. So here we won't do books because we're gonna import this and serve it here directly. It's gonna be served here directly. So for that, we won't be using books, right? Won't be using books. We use API. So whenever you access this endpoint, you will be asked to be what? To be authenticated. So you will be asked to be authenticated. Are you with me, guys? You will be asked to be authenticated. Here, before we do this, we have to define the endpoint for the token. In order to be specific, it is cool to add the API, then move on to like this, my token view. Okay, let me do like this. So yeah, this as my token view, the name will be just the token has been obtained. This will be like, but let us use the conventional naming in just Python. But in a normal system, like in Node.js, we normally use login. So, or signing, whatever you call it, this endpoint, the name of whatever you want. You use just the name of whatever you want. So here, what we are defining, we defined 3 important endpoints. for authenticating user. This one will be for logging. This one will be for refreshing. Instead of us creating a new token for the user, we can refresh the existing token. Then if the user decided to log in, we blacklist the token. And this is done by the Django internally. We don't have to implement by ourselves. So now we have this. So what we have to do, we have to come. We have to come in the books here in the book view, books view, then add this view. We said we called it token view. I hope you remember. We called a token view, my token view. Then we come here and define this my token view. Okay, let me implement and put it on Tideko, the first part. So my token view here, it doesn't take it doesn't take the list view or detail view. What it take is it take the token obtained pair view, like we used here. We have seen that we called this the token obtained. Anyone, is it a message or can you see it? Oh, okay. So now here, now we use this obtain token view class, right? Use this. Okay, it doesn't. Let me import it. Let me import it manually. So this is found within. We will have to implement also to define this stuff. We're gonna be showing you how to implement them, but this stuff obtain my token and serializer. That's where we define, that's where we define and those different token claims. I hope you remember the token claims that I have said. That's where we customize or add different security identification into the token. I hope you remember, right? You remember? Okay, here, this one is from the REST framework. Okay, the REST framework, and this will be making it later along the way. Now we have it set. So what remaining is to implement this. So now what we have to do, we are remaining with the important. We are remaining with the important things. The first is serializing. Implementing this serializer we imported here. This serializer. The second will be permissions. The second will be permissions. So for the serializer, what is in the serializer? We are just defining or implementing the rules for the token. Right? We are defining the different rules for the token. that we are just strengthening the security within our system. So here we start with importing the dependencies that we need. This dependence. This one is the one which help us to encrypt the token, to define what kind of the token we need, then encrypt them for us with different claims that we have specified. And this one help us to do what? What does it help us? We are not going to use it for now, right? We are not. Are we together? I cannot hear you guys. Okay, so I have to import this first. Okay, can't see. Oh my gosh. So, is there anyone who can come? So another thing we have to check is to make sure that we have a user model within the system. Currently, we don't have a user model. What we have is a simple system in place. So here, what to do is just to add a user model. User model like this one, right? So now here we are going to serialize the information that you want user to be using to access our system, right? So what we do, we define a class called my token serializer, like we define it. We are expecting here. This is the one that we are aiming at creating. My token serializer. Then we pass this thing that we have imported, and then what we do here, we already did it. So then we define this function, which we call the super constructor from this dependence or class that we are importing, and then requests the user generation or encryption of the user token, right? So then it will append username and email, then return the token. I hope you are getting this. So we are constructing over the implementation or capabilities that you are being given by the Django. So now we are going to do the serialization for book. This is for getting the token. But how do we protect the books? So also we do almost like the same thing. We do some kind of serialization. Here what we do is the time that we want to add owner checking, right? We were just querying the book without checking who does this book belongs to, or does the user has the permission to perform any operation on this book. Everyone had the permission to perform any operation on the book. I hope you remember. But now we are adding the owner so that the owner can do what? Can update, delete, create a book or any authenticated or super permission like admin can do those operations on the book. That's why we are doing what? We are adding owner attribute or field on the book. So to do so, this we created the meta, but here we have to first of all serialize or create a serializer for this book. Serializing, we are just getting this owner information from where? From the user model, and store them here on this new field called owner. I hope you are getting this. So then the next thing we have to do, we have to make this this field just a readable field so that nobody can do what, can update it. We have to make it a readable field so that nobody can update it. Like I said, these are just custom code, which are different from the default ones. The default ones are like ID, many others that Django gives us for just Django gives us. So there is another thing we forgot here, I think. So we forgot. Is there anything I think we might forgot? Let me see. So we have forgot role. Nobody, we are using image. So auto compilation. So here, yeah, like role, and for the role, yeah. Username and role. We just want to add username and role. Yeah. Now, this will be used for authorization. So now, what's remaining? We need to serialize user. Now we need to serialize user. For the user, we need to take these fields and make sure that you can write this password at once, but you can't. Okay, can you hear me, guys?
Sure, I can hear you as well.
Okay, so this we don't need this for now. We don't need this for now because let us just check for the important things. Yeah, let us say like we added like date joined. I want, yeah, date joined. So let us like add date joined, and date joined. Let us add like for the date joined. I want ID and date joined to be read only for your reference, so that at the time that you will have different fields that has to be not updated, you can reference to it. And also when you have a field that to be loaded once, you can also be able to do it. Like, let us say example, if a user registered with an email can't be able to update it, right? But for the password, that can't be able to update it. So you can do like this. So now we forgot load. Now we have to do load, to add the load. The reason why we are like here, we are updating the these models that we have defined, is because we want to add these fields that will help us to perform those authentication operations, right? I hope everybody here can understand this. And I think you understand how this works to enable us to modify the models and add an extra rules. So now we okay, this is an extra, just this extra extra method. We didn't need that, but the compression give us, so we can keep it. Just comment out. We need the. We don't need it for now. We created the user, but we wouldn't be even returning anything. Oh, this. So now we have serialized the token, book, and the user. For the book, I said we serialized this because we wanted to add owner to the book. So what should be in the permission? Okay, we can. So what should be in the permission? In the permission, this is where we check different. This is where we check different what? This is where we check a different, like 2 hours, guys. So I think let us use a simple method. So it's taking long. So for the permission, I'm just going to show you them in action, guys. So for the permission, what I was about to implement, I was going to add some simple helpers so that I can be able to use them to do what? To check the ownership and the different permission to perform different operation on the what? On the books, or on the book, on the books within the system. For example, is role, does user has a role, or does user has admin access, and does user has editor or admin access, something like that. And when you come here on the, and when you come here on what? Yeah. And when you come here, you can see what the laws look like. I think I forgot this at the time that I was doing implementation. So we should have added a lot with these enums and these enums, right? And also we did implement added a helper function to check if a user is the admin or editor within the model. So for this, another important thing is as you can see, the URLs are still the same as the one we had. I hope you can accept that. Are you here? Okay. Accept that we have moved almost of the crude operations URL into here, but here, so the wait. Yeah, this for getting the user list. This is for so here we have moved almost. No, they are not in there. So we are missing these URLs. They are not in there. They are not. Oh.
You are so tired.
What? Who is saying?
I guess it's Dieu merci.
Oh. Okay, so let us test. Let's test what we have been playing along with. So now so let us see. Okay. Yeah, what I was, this wasn't loading, so I thought that it might be missing, but it is already here. So I don't know. I might be checking the long file, right? So I might be checking the long file. So now, so these are the URLs that we implemented. So let us try to start this server. I hope everyone remember how to start the server. So since we have used pipenv, then we do run Python manage.py, then we start server. We serve this server to, let's say on this, no search file. Okay, I can see the reason. Okay, so now we can run it again and see what we get. Oh, again. Yeah, sometimes time was like that and okay, so yeah, let me just so now let me deactivate the, okay. Okay, now let me del okay, so we have to go inside the off. Now I see the UI. It has install. Okay, all install. Okay. So I hope you have seen the problem. We had to we had to we had to we had to start server. I see. Yeah, I can see the why. I'm still outside of the. I'm still the outside of the actual project I should be in, and project. Yeah, I should be inside here. I should be inside here. Work. Did you mean test server? Test server. This should be starting server. So it should be starting server. Start server. It should be starting server.
Run server is that.
What? I can't hear you.
Start server, but run server. Shouldn't be start
Oh.
server, but run server.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yes, man. Yeah, this is how. That's why I told you guys to pray with things around. Don't be afraid. So this is what makes us stronger. Okay, so don't be excited about this page. As you know, we didn't define any page or any view to be accessed on this homepage endpoint, right? This homepage endpoint. This you can call it as homepage. So we were expecting this. So because we don't have much time to use the UI, we are going to go with the terminal, right? We don't have much time so that we can use the UI. So we are going to just use terminal. And in order to be clear, here we already have some seeders as usual. We have these users here. We have these users. So there are the users that we are going to be praying. We are going to be praying with. So what we are going to do first of all, we are going to seed them. We are going to seed them. So let me run this and see if Python can allow me to run it. Python. So I have to So migration has been applied. So what we are going to do, since our endpoint is already running, as you can see here, what we are going to do, we are going to use this terminal. What I'm going to do is the same as what you can do with the Postman or whatever. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this terminal. I'm going to use this terminal with the carry. I hope you are familiar with this. With the carry and try to hit my server with different sort of requests, right? Are we together, guys? Let me know if you are together. If you are not familiar with the carry, just take it as my carry, and I'm going to use it to test my endpoints, right? I'm going to use it to test my endpoints. So, right, my my current domain is localhost and the port you remember I configured my server to run on is this one 89, right? So and this is the one, and then the if you remember the endpoint that I have configured as the login endpoint here is this, right? This is my endpoint and is where I have called my view here, my view for doing what? For serializing the token, right? For serializing the token. So here, don't get confused. You can still achieve these views we have created even within this auth project, this auth app, right? You can still achieve the same if you define these views here. So then, now after defining my endpoint, I do this so that I can be able to move down and then provide a header. This stands for a header, then do content type. Content type. I hope you remember what I said about header. Header contains many different rows, and content type is one of those rows. Content type allows you to specify what type of content your header, your client expects to receive, and also this has to be the same as to what our server endpoint is configured to receive. Our server has to be configured to accept or to work with this content type. Make sure at the time that we will be working on to consider this. Then the second, then here, this you call it a body. Now we are in the body. Within the body, we are going to specify what type of body should your request contain. So here, we have to come back to the serialization and check serialization and check what our token will be containing. Will be username and role. So within username and role, and check if the seeded user we have seeded also has the username and password in place. Because if one of them is missing, we wouldn't be able to do it to access the endpoint or be authorized. So thank God that we took into account. So we have both username and password. So we are going to authenticate let me check. We are going to authenticate one of these users. Let us just check to fail. I'm going to try to authenticate the user who is not in our system so that I can we can check we can catch the early bird if we did anything anything wrong. So then the next will be password. Another thing will be password. Within the password, then call I am the password. Yeah. Yeah, we know that this user doesn't exist, right? We know that this user doesn't exist. But our system doesn't know this. Right. We are the only one who let me then we have to copy this. Put it on this line. We have to then oh what am I missing? What am I missing? User. So we have a bunch of options, and no need to. So there's. I hope you can see my screen. You can still see my screen. You can still see my screen, right?
Yes, we can see.
I'm just going to use Postman. Yeah, we are going to use the Postman. So I don't have enough time to be jiggling with the curry. It disappointed me, and I was using it early. So is it because I'm on rush? Yeah, laugh.
You're looking someone who is tired, especially.
Yeah, sure, but just let me. So yeah, that's what happens when you are in rush and trying to do things that's.
But I think you can log in. We can log in by using Google. It can work. I think.
Yeah. it should be working with the GitHub also as well because I'm signed in. It should then be refusing. Okay. Thing is taking too long. I know, Marie. Sure. What is this? I haven't been using this C for some time. I've been using this and oh. I think the problem is in here. You see, one mistake. Yeah, no, one mistake. Now, alert protocol was. You see, only one thing. Okay, so because I was trying to figure out the mistake, I even wrote. Yes.
Yeah, using the HTTPS protocol, did you implement, do you generate a necessary key?
Yeah, that's true. The second mistake, HTTPS instead of HTTP. So the first issue,
HTTP.
no active account found with the given credential. You see,
Yes, that's
just simple two mistakes, and now
better now.
simple two mistakes. But let us try to use the correct information. So let us try to use the correct information and see what we get. And see what you get. The correct information for the password, this user admin. The correct password will be this one, and the username is admin Anna. Admin Anna. You see, now we got a token. Can you see it clearly? Let me zoom. I hope you can see the token. Here we have a refresh token. Let us check for this is the access token. You see, this is the access token, but we get two. One is access token and another one is a refresh token. And this is the thing that he was looking for. So kudos to us. So we entered within our server. So after entering within our server, what we are going to do then, the next thing will be testing the post, right? We are going to test the post, aren't we? Or we are done? We are done?
Not yet.
We are done.
The
Because
question was,
The time has gone. We are almost 3 hours. Yeah, the question was. Oh. Yeah, tell me. The question was what?
I mean, you were asking a question. I didn't get you there.
I'm saying that we are almost 2 hours over at the time that we were supposed to end the session. So you understand the context. So I'll be out there. What is remaining is to test other endpoint. Okay, I see. Can you test any other endpoint? Guys, it might consume time. I'm okay with the testing all endpoints, but I think it would be better if we end the session here and go and play with any of other tokens, other endpoints, and reach out to me via WhatsApp or even via the GitHub. This is my GitHub, and this is your repo. This is the repo you should be using, and everything I was working with is in here. So let me share with you. As usual, I share with you the repository I have added. I have added this authentication implementation, and also it is even already deployed. You can go and check it out. Yeah, it is minimalistic. It is minimalistic, but here and here in this done Django, you can if you go here inside the off folder, you can see this off project, and it is almost similar with that one I have been showing with you. It is built on top of this CBV project. It extends its functionality with the authentication implementation, and it covers many things than what I covered. It detailed everything, and since it already have enough time, it give you more insight than I did. And even here is the tests, how you can test every single endpoint that we have been working along with, right? So even if you come inside this Postman, we don't use a get here. If we come inside the Postman, you can still take this endpoint. You can still be able to test them. So for the people who are familiar with no, it doesn't. So who are already familiar with the Postman, it is easy. What you do is that you do just this. We have seen admin, then Anna, then password. Then password is what is this. Then password is this. So you hit send. Oh, so the next thing, like I said, I haven't been using this sheet. So you have to download a Postman agent. That's what you will do in order to be able to access the, in order to be able to allow this Postman to connect with your localhost. You will have to download just today. Yeah, you have to download the Postman agent or Postman app. That's all, but as you have seen, it will work as expected. So you will go ahead and play with this along. So the reason is I'm a power user, so I normally use the terminal stuff. That's why I don't have things like Postman on my PC. So guys, so that was for today. As you have seen, this is a complete implementation for Django authentication and authorization. You can go and read much. Just try to take a short time playing along with the implementation. Implementation is the crucial things when it comes to development. If you read and just say, I have completed whatever you had to do, you are wrong, you are totally wrong, right? You are totally wrong. You are totally wrong. The only things that make you great in development stuff or software engineering stuff is playing with things. I get stuck, like you have seen. You don't get stuck because you did a really great mistake. No, a simple type of mistake get you stuck, right? A simple type of mistake get you stuck. Like the one we have made here. That's why I try to just to not only tell you this and this, this and this. Theory is just theory, but when I try to implement things, you see where you do mistakes, and you see how normal it is to do mistake when doing software development. The reason why you focus on doing mistakes is not because I come here or I can't feel ashamed of just doing these simple mistakes. No. What I know and what I consider is how this journal it should or it is in real life. You have to do things, wake up, then move on. And what stuck you is not doing things, is not complicated things, but at the time that you have to advance, you meet with the smallest things that you didn't expect and you get stuck, and you have to sit down and calm down, figure out how to fix them. So guys, this was for today, and let us meet next week, and it will be the last session for the Django and Python Bootcamp. We meet on Friday again. See you guys. See you. So I wanna see you guys interacting with your repository. That's your repository. I wanna see you guys interacting with your repository. I wanna see you guys interacting with the contents. I wanna see you guys doing stuff, reaching to me out, saying I did this and did this, I did this. I want to get more insight on this. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? I just want to see you guys progressing. So we should unite, guys. See you guys. Yes, Dylan.
Okay, thank you. Before you
Thanks,
leave,
Mr. Jumpo.
Welcome.
before you leave, I would like to appreciate for this time. Thank you so much.
Welcome, Mr. Diodon. It's my pleasure to assist you guys.
Appreciation too.
Appreciation.
See you.
Good night.